Welcome back to the Tempo Storm Hearthstone Meta Snapshot Breakdown for April 23rd, 2017. In our second meta breakdown since the release of UNGORO, multiple dramatic shifts in tier lists have occurred with the advent of new strategies and the changing strength of existing lists. Before we can get to all that exciting new stuff, we have to first acknowledge that the all too familiar Pirate Warrior stands on the top of the meta for yet another snapshot. As mentioned in the last breakdown, this archetype didn't lose much, if at all, in the latest rotation. As experimentations and brewing takes place throughout the UNGORO meta with new deck archetypes, the refined, powerful, and proactive Pirate Warrior reaps the benefits of a still developing meta. Elsewhere in UNGORO, the signs of a successful expansion and a fresh meta are abundant. 6 of the 9 classes in Hearthstone have at least 2 unique archetypes that are powerful enough to be considered tier 1 and tier 2 decks. The other 3 classes, Shaman, Hunter, and Warlock, have at least 1 viable archetype. Tier 2 is bursting at the seams with 10 strong decks from a variety of archetypes. Fast decks like Aggro Druid, Token Shaman, and Aggro Mage are working their way into the ladder. We've even seen the development of new styles of Control Mage and Control Priest that have proved to be a powerful addition to the meta. In addition, long-standing decks like Freeze Mage, Mid-Range Hunter, Jade Druid, and N'Zoth Paladin continue to be viable choices if you're hoping to pilot a familiar Hearthstone archetype. The big wrench in the works of last week has been the development of powerful styles of Murloc Paladin. Mid-Range Murloc Paladin and Aggro Murloc Paladin went from almost non-existent to being the second and third most powerful decks on the ladder respectively in less than a week. The flexibility of style has made game plans against Murloc Paladin tedious and difficult because of the multiple avenues of attack that a Paladin deck can take. Add to the fact that the 2 archetypes offer decent matchups across the board. The arsenal of early Murlocs, Grimscale Chum, Grimscale Oracle, Murloc Tidecaller, Vilefin Inquisitor, and Hydrologist allow the deck to snowball an early board into an insanely fast lethal. Dropping Gentle Megasaur on an even seemingly weak board of Murlocs can win games outright. Yet the archetype can also take games into the later turns, grinding out wins with resource generation and powerhouse value plays. Aside from the traditional Divine Favor after dumping the cheap early hand, the inclusion of Stonehill Defender, Finja the Flying Star, and Sunkeeper Terran has given the aggressive variant a lot of reach, while the mid-range variant players can lean on Spike-Ridged Steed and Tyrian Forgery to provide a late-game punch. The side effect of the incredibly specific but very powerful archetypes we saw on the Mean Streets meta was that we kept referring to as rock, paper, scissors type of ladder. We don't want to seem redundant bringing this analogy up again, but the way the theory crafting is shaken out in UNGORO has made this image more on point regarding the dynamics of the meta than ever before. Each archetype is refining to be more powerful, and as a result, polarizing matchups are showing up all across the board. As this environment continues to take shape on the ladder, keep a close eye on the styles of decks that you're seeing, and be mindful of what might be best for you to queue up based on the patterns of the day. For the upcoming week, the aggressive variants of Paladin being a relatively new flavor, expect more aggro style archetypes in the week ahead. The rotation and especially the UNGORO expansion have been fresh air to the last breath of the Year of the Kraken. Even weeks in, it's still a great time to enjoy the dynamics of the ladder, trying new iterations of already working lists, and even theory crafting new archetypes altogether. If you enjoyed this meta snapshot breakdown, consider leaving us a like or favorite, and please subscribe to stay tuned with all of Tempo Storm's news and Hearthstone content.